Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again inside the Hawks Nest here at Springs Valley High School, where tonight the Senators find themselves in the consolation game of the 2017 Springs Valley Holiday Tourney. Today they got a big effort out of several guys, and a deep rotation was able to roll out to a 53-20 romp over a very undermanned, undersized New Washington team that did bounce back to pick up a win in the 5th and 6th place game just a moment ago over Martinsville Tabernacle. But the Senators get it done with the 53-20 win here today, and they'll take on a Shoals team who comes in with a record of 4-5, and they also earned a split in pool play. They knocked off that Martinsville Tabernacle team in the first game yesterday afternoon at around 2 o'clock, and then fell to Paoli in the next to last game last night here. They gave Paoli all they wanted for the better part of about 2.5 quarters before eventually falling to the Rams. So that sets us up for our consolation game tonight. It's the Senators and the Jug Rocks, and your countdown to the tip starts now. Hello again, everyone. I'm Misty Jones, and joining me in just a second for tonight's broadcast is Senator Basketball, and WSLM will be my sidekick and broadcast partner, Senator Football's own Coach Mark Gibson. Well, as I said, it's been a good day for West Washington Senator basketball. They finally snap a 5-game skid, and Coach Smith able to get what he needed out of his young group. Effort, energy, a little bit of attitude, and a little bit of pizzazz on the defensive end, which led to some instant offense off of the break. The Senators able to get several guys into the scoring column. In fact, everybody played today that was dressed for that earlier contest, and everyone able to score except for Chase Farmer, who had a couple of opportunities. But again, as we said in the post game, he was able to chip in a lot of good defensive effort out as well in his minutes to spell some guys who needed some valued rest before tonight's consolation on the quick turnaround here this afternoon. The Senators, again, ratchet up the defense, especially in that third quarter where they actually outscored the Shoals Jug Rocks 20-2 to take a very commanding lead into the fourth quarter. In fact, it was 41-15 as we rolled into the fourth, and the Senators dropped the hammer again, outscoring the New Washington Mustangs 12-5 in that fourth quarter of play, and that seals the 53-20 victory. And along with that, Coach Gibson, they forced 26 turnovers in that matchup earlier today, and it's the effort we've been looking for and so many positives to take out of it. The question is, on the short turnaround, extremely short turnaround with just a few hours of rest, can this group maintain that, bottle what they used today to be successful against New Wash to knock off a very, very good Shoals team here this evening?
Well, that's going to be the question. One thing that Coach Smith did in the entire starting the fourth quarter, and it lasted the entire quarter, 8 minutes. He did a nice job of getting the starters rest. I'm not too sure they played more than 1 or 2 minutes. Talking about guys like Holden, Bousman, Sanford, Abels. Gavin played a little bit in the fourth quarter, but he did get some rest, and that's going to be the key, the conditioning for these back-to-backs. Not only have we played back-to-back days, but now we got to play 2 in 1 day. So we're going to find out what the wind's like, what the legs are feeling like pretty quickly, I think. If you can see them come out with some aggressiveness and with some passion like they did against New Wash, which we're going to have to do against this confident Shoals team, things should be okay. But it's going to be something to watch throughout the game. Do we look like we have guys getting winded or heavy legs?
Well, as I said, the Shoals Jug Rocks, they enter tonight's contest with a 4-5 record overall, and they earned a split in pool play, and again gave a very solid undefeated Paoli Rams team all they wanted for the better part of 2 quarters. We stuck around until halftime last night, and the Shoals Jug Rocks able to use a pretty solid 2-3 zone, a matchup to give some fits to the Rams on the perimeter, and then offensively they were able to go to their big man Clayton Tishner, 6'5" and a junior at 15 points per game, and Coach, he wreaked havoc yesterday in both games that we watched of Shoals.
Yeah, he's going to be a load. They got a couple of big boys down low. So it's another key today is going to be guarding the post. Can we make it difficult for the guards to feed the post? Can we make it difficult for the big guys, if they do touch it down low, to keep them away from the basket as much as we can? not only are they big, 6'5", and another 6'3", but they're stocky as well. There's some big kids. So it may be a game where, especially with Nick not being around, Nick Marr still suffering from flu-like symptoms, but going to be a big game for Jake Strange. Going to be a big game for Gavin Smith. Going to be a big game for Harrison Sanford. And not only just scoring the ball, it's going to be a big game for those guys defensively, keeping those two bigs off of the boards and, not scoring at will down low on the post.
You always miss anybody, of course, that you're lost for on your roster, whether it's a guy coming off a concussion like Zink or Bousman that missed a few games, or whether it's a guy like Nick Marr's home with the flu. And again, Nick, if you're listening, we wish you all the best, buddy. We hope you get better soon. Busy weekend coming back off the holiday break, so hopefully you'll be ready to roll for that. But a game where we certainly could use his size inside against Tishner, but as Coach Gibson said, it'll be up to some of these young guys to step up and fill the void and be able to help defend the post here tonight against the Jug Rocks. As always, on our pregame show during this time, our Senator Tip-Off pregame show, we want to thank you, the fans, for tuning in to tonight's broadcast of Senator Basketball on 1220 AM and 97.9 FM as we bring you coverage of this holiday tourney at Springs Valley, but also a great shout-out and thank you to all the sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator Basketball possible. And those sponsors include John Jones GM City, bringing you this pregame show coverage here this evening, as well as our halftime report sponsor, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem, and Ace Hardware, bringing you our postgame show wrap-up here from the Hawks Nest over the last couple of days and all season long, as well as McDonald's on South Main Street, home to Coach's Corner each Wednesday night, Brady Bishop and Channel Seed, Walmart, Salem Crossing, and Meadowview Healthcare. We're going to step aside and take a break, as always, during this portion of our pregame show to get a word from the IHSAA. And after that 60-second timeout, we'll come back and be joined by Senator head coach Sean Smith to get his thoughts on today's performance against the Mustangs in that big 53-20 romp. And we'll look ahead to tonight's matchup and get his thoughts against the Jug Rocks. You're listening to the Senators tonight on WSLM 1220 AM and 97.9 on the FM dial.
Before the big plays, before the magical moments, before all that discipline, dedication, and teamwork finally pays off, comes your support. The IHSAA Foundation is dedicated to protecting, sustaining, and nurturing education-based athletics in Indiana. Its work will ensure IHSAA members, schools, and coaches receive the support they need so that Indiana student-athletes receive the opportunity they deserve. Learn more at ihsaafoundation.org.
Welcome back as we continue on with more of this edition of our Senator Tip-Off pregame show as we get you set for the consolation game of this 2017 Springs Valley Holiday Tourney. And we're joined now on this portion of the pregame, as always, by Senator head coach, Mr. Sean Smith. Coach, great day for your kids thus far, a great start to the afternoon. You come out and you're able to get a lot of good production from several guys in the starting roles and off the bench, as a matter of fact, as your team comes out and plays hard at both ends, and defense turns into some offense on your way to a 53-20 win here earlier today against New Washington. Just kind of assess your team's performance this morning.
Yeah, I was real proud of them. They, they responded and did a nice job, especially once we were able to, make some baskets and get some pressing going and take advantage of New Washington's struggles with, taking care of the basketball and handling the ball. So, we were able to kind of get control of the game there in that third quarter, and it was nice to kind of have an easy win from that point on, so we could, mix kids in and rest them a little bit, and hopefully maybe we can, build on that and get another one this evening.
Talk about that defensive energy in that first game, and coaches, especially your younger kids, are used to kind of, they've always had success building offense, some in transition out of that stellar defense that they're able to play with some quick hands. And we talked about it in the pregame. you know, yesterday it really wasn't an opportunity for you to do kind of that same thing just because we weren't able to hit shots early to get into any kind of pressure situations, but a different case here today, especially establishing yourself early on in the post.
Yeah. I mean, we felt like we had a bit of a size advantage on the New Washington post, and you know, they really did all they could do. They pushed us and collapsed on us, and you know, we struggled with that a little bit, and it forced us to miss some shots. But once we calmed down and started making some baskets, and could create some create an up-tempo game, it certainly worked in our favor. And yeah, I mean, there's certain teams that, you know, we're definitely going to be able to do that with. Some teams, you know, pressing might create offense for the, you know, some of these veteran teams that you know, may have a little bit more size and strength than we do. But you know, that was definitely a team we thought we could press and get the ball inside, and we did what we had to do, and we got it done.
And while we talk about this roster being much different than the last couple of seasons, Coach, one similarity with this group today to the last couple of years, you had very good balance all the way down the roster.
Yeah, we love that. We love, you know, I've always felt like if you have good balance, you know, you're going to have a great chance to win. That means everybody's involved, everybody's engaged, and usually if the guys are engaged on the offensive end, then they're probably engaged on the defensive end too, and that usually carries over, and vice versa. So it was great to see us have such good balance, and you know, all of our guys needed to see the ball go through the hoop a little bit. You know, that's how they can build some confidence.
And of course, it started with your guard play, the defensive effort by your guards, getting several good deflections out top, kind of turning the tables from what you guys experienced against Valley, kind of facilitated some of that press break offense.
Yeah. You know, we felt like we could really pressure their guards, take away, you know, the couple guys that could maybe get going offensively, and I thought our defense was pretty solid, and we were able to do that.
Coach, you got a short turnaround here as you come back for this consolation game, just a few hours removed from that big win over New Wash, and now you take on a Shoals team that, quite frankly, was pretty impressive in their outings. Of course, they had a fairly good lead on this Martinsville Tabernacle team that's playing now, and end up making it a little bit more interesting than what they probably hoped for down the stretch. But then they also come out and battled hard for the better part of 3 quarters against a solid Paoli team. So what have you seen out of the Shoals team that's maybe an early concern for you?
Oh, they have a nice team. You know, they beat Lagodi at Lagodi, I believe, earlier in the year. And, you know, the big kid, he's a load. I mean, he's a handful, and it's going to be a challenge for us. You know, with Nick, if we had Nick, I think he could match up with him fairly well. But, you know, we don't. So it's going to be a tall order for Jake and Gavin and Harrison. They're going to have to, you know, step up and rise to the occasion and play big. And you know, it's going to have to take a team effort to handle him, because he's a load inside, and he can step out and shoot too. So they got a nice team. They number 3 can step out and shoot it as well. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, and their zone got some length, and we're going to have to knock some shots down.
It definitely gave Paoli some fits within their offensive scheme the other night. And, you know, you look at this Shoals team, not only do they have the big kid inside that can hurt you a little bit, but they've also got a couple of guys from the outside that can knock down the 3 ball, much like the Diaz kid earlier today in your game against New Washington. So I'm sure it'll be pretty pivotal for your guards to be able to not only help down in the post, whether you're in zone or man, but to also be able to recover with hands out.
Absolutely. We got to know where number 3's at in particular. And you know, there's a couple other kids that are capable of making threes. But at the same time, everything's going to probably go through the big guy, you know, and we got to be able to collapse on him and make it difficult for him to score, you know, or get easy buckets. And we can't just foul him and let him, because he'll go make free throws too. So it's going to be a tough game for us. We're going to have to knock some shots down. We're going to have to be big and strong and battle, especially the big kid, to give ourselves a chance to win.
Is this a game where we see maybe some primary zone defense just to kind of contain him inside, or do we still see a mix from your group defensively?
I think we see a mix. It's one of those games we'll just probably have to kind of feel it out, see what we're able to do. We'll start one way, and if it doesn't, worked, and we'll have to make some adjustments. So, but yeah, I mean, it's, this kid's a big, strong kid. And he's pretty skilled around the basket. It's gonna be a tough task to deal with him.
No apparent injuries coming out of that game with New Wash, but talk to us a little bit about the health of your team. I know Nick's still out, of course, with the stomach bug, and got a couple of coaches trying to get on the mend as well.
Yeah, I think everybody's healthy. Nobody's showing signs as far as player, personnel. The coaches are feeling it a little bit, so maybe, hopefully it's not that. But sometimes once one kid gets a stomach bug, it eventually works its way through everybody. So, because we're all, you're sharing basketballs, passing them around, you're around each other so close that it's almost impossible to quarantine that sort of thing. But we might get lucky, and maybe with having 3 days off after today, maybe we get through it. And Nick is the only one who gets sick, but I don't know if that's going to be the case, and so that's something else we're going to have to just work through and deal with.
Coach, you had a shake-up in the lineup today, and it seemed to ring the bell for a lot of guys, whether they were in that starting role or coming off the bench for the first time in a while. What's your lineup look like this evening against the Jug Rocks?
We're going to go with the same lineup. Definitely feel like putting our biggest kids out there is going to be important, and we're going to really need, like I said, Jake and Gavin and Harrison. Those guys are going to have to step up and rise to the occasion, and our guards will have to play big and be aggressive and be scrappy and pesky, and just have to do our best.
Coach, we wish you all the best in this consolation game of the Springs Valley tourney, and look forward to getting your thoughts after hopefully another big win here today.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Sean Smith joins us on our Senator Tip-Off pregame show. We'll have more in a moment. You're listening to the Senators in the Springs Valley Holiday Tourney here on WSLM.
Looking for your next new or used car? Then head on down and check out the deals at John Jones Auto Group in Salem, Corydon, Scottsburg, and Greenville. Whether you visit the lot and take a test drive or visit the virtual showroom online at johnjonesautogroup.com, you'll find the largest selection of GM cars in Kentuckiana. Whether it's a car, truck, or minivan, John Jones Auto Group has something to fit your style and your budget. Bad credit? No problem. We will find the financing that's right for you. At John Jones, we pride ourselves at finding the right deal for your situation. Call or visit today, 1-800-473-5546, or go online at johnjonesautogroup.com and check us out on Facebook and Twitter too. John Jones Auto Group, the largest dealer in southern Indiana, serving Salem, Corydon, Scottsburg, Greenville. You see so many because they paid so little.
As we come back inside the Hawks Nest for the final time and wrap up our Senator Tip-Off pregame show, brought to you by John Jones GM City. Let's run down our keys to victory tonight, brought to you by John Jones. And first and foremost, Coach, is going to be staying the course. Can we build off of today's earlier performance and beat down of New Washington and keep that rhythm on both ends of the floor? Secondly, we're going to have to contain the post. Clayton Tishner, a very good scorer inside. He got a nose for the basketball in the post, and definitely a guy that can hurt you on the glass and in the scorebook. And then finally, the last one, rebounding. This is a team that's not like earlier today. They're a lot bigger, so we're going to have to be ready to get after it on the glass and get out the Windex bottle.
Yeah, it's going to be, and we talked about it pregame. Coach just talked about it. Our bigs are going to have to come to play tonight. And does that mean they have to get every rebound? No, but they do have to check out, get a body on a guy, and then our guards have to come in and rebound as well. I mean, if for some reason we got one guard leaking out, man, the other one has to crash the board. So it's going to take a team effort. And, back-to-back nights, we talked about that, and twice and, playing 2 games in one day. It's going to take a team effort to beat this team.
Those keys to victory brought to you by John Jones GM City, a proud sponsor of the Senators all season long on WSLM. Call the good folks at John Jones GM City by phoning 1-800-I-SELL-GM, 1-800-473-5546. Check them out on the web at johnjonesautogroup.com, or better yet, stop by that beautiful showroom and lot at 1450 South State Road 60 in Salem, John Jones GM City. You see so many because they pay so little. And with that, we're ready for our starting lineups. It's also brought to you by John Jones GM City. And let's start first for the Shoals Jug Rocks. I get my tongue untied. Bryson Abel, the head coach, 14-44 in his third season. His team averages 56.1 per game and gives up 46.2. He will start more of a traditional set. 2 guards in the backcourt. Number 3, Johnny Suckup, a 5'9" junior at 9 points per game, along with number 11, Kenyon Sarles, 5'10" and a junior at 3 points per contest. Number 23, Clayton Tishner, start in the middle, 6'5" and a junior at 15 points per game to lead the team. And the forwards will be 32, Max Fisher, 6'2" and a sophomore, 7 points per game. And number 40, Ryan Hawkins, a 6'2" junior at 7.5 per contest. For the West Washington Senators, now 3-6 on the year, snapping that 5-game skid. What are we giving here, Coach?
It has something to do with the FCA, Fellowship
so
Christian,
FCA
Association.
award being given here before the starting lineups, given to Ryan Hawkins, the junior from Shoals. So let's go back to our lineups now for the West Washington Senators, again snapping that 5-game skid. Now 3-6 on the year. Coach Smith, 55-33 overall in his 4th year in Camelsburg, 12th year overall. Of course, he spent time at Charlestown before he stopped in the Berg. His team averages around 44 a game and gives up in the neighborhood of 50 per contest. They will start the same lineup as you heard Coach say. Number 22, Holden Bousman, 6 foot and a freshman at 8.6 points per game and 2.1 in the steals category to lead the team in that particular item on the stat sheet. Number 4, Caden Abels, 5'7" and a junior, starts with him in the backcourt, 2.7 per game, as well as a 1.5 assist per contest. Up front at the small forward spot, number 30, Gavin Smith, 6'2" and a sophomore, 4.5 points, 2.5 rebounds per contest. He'll be joined on the other block by 24, Harrison Sanford, 6'2" and a sophomore at 5.5 points and nearly 4 rebounds per game. And in the middle, 6'4" freshman big man, number 32, Jake Strange, 3 points, 2.2 rebounds per contest for Coach Sean Smith and his staff. Tonight's Indiana High School Athletic Association officials are Rick Roberts of Camelsburg, Jeff Jackson of Salem, and Gerald Scott of the Paoli, Orange County area. And with that said, Senators have made the switch over there in their blue uniforms tonight. Those road blue threads trimmed in white and red with the flying W and red letters and numerals. Shoals in the white home threads trimmed in blue with blue letters and numerals. Senators will be on your WSLM, AM, and FM dials tonight, starting out going from left to right, and it'll be Strange to jump it up in the center circle with Clayton Tishner. And we'll keep an eye on that matchup here early in the post. Ball's up and away, and Jake wins the tip. Gavin Smith will track it down, and the Senators are in business with the first possession of the night. Shoals will offer a little extended zone trap look, almost a 1-2-2 extended. Save it out to the corner. 3 ball on the way for Holden, left short. He'll fight for his own rebound. It'll go into the hands of Jake Strange, who gets tied up. And on the jump ball quickly at the 7:39 mark, it'll go to Shoals. Good first possession, good ball rotation. Again, Holden just can't find the range. Of course, the Senators enter tonight's consolation game on the year through 9 games, shooting it at just 28%, a pretty frigid mark from downtown.
Yeah, in the first quarter, it's even worse. Going into last game, we were shooting 16% from behind the arc in the first quarter.
That just about makes you want to wear the toboggan and gloves while you're watching one of our games. As a 3 ball from the left wing won't go for Max Fisher, and the rebound pulled out of there by Holden as he gives it up to Caden Abels, who will go behind the back, crosses into the front court. Holden now goes high post to Gavin, and then on their kick out, it's going to be Abels whistled for the travel. Senators gave it up just 7 times today in the blowout win over New Washington. They've already given it up here once in 2 trips, just 58 seconds into this one. Glad you could join us here tonight again for another broadcast of Senator basketball, our second one today here from the Hawks Nest. Misty Jones alongside of Mark Gibson. Craig Akers running the video feed for live stream as the Senators open up in a little matchup 2-3 zone. Got Harrison in the middle of that zone. Jake playing a wing to come out and extend pressure on the perimeter. 3-ball on the kick out, in and out, no good, won't go for Johnny Sukup, and it will be out of bounds.
Gavin and Jake got caught fighting for the same rebound, end up slipping out of both their hands, out of bounds, so Shoals underneath the goal.
Shoals to inbound, they get it in quickly to Fisher. He skips it across the way to Sarles. Now back into the high post to Fisher. Ball was poked away, and Holden will give chase, trying to run it down. Good active hands here for West Washington early on the defensive side of the ball. Underneath, they go to their big men, counted in one as Tishner wastes no time getting into the scoring column. And it is
on Jake.
Foul on West Washington. First one of the night for either team, and this one will go on Jake Strange. Picks up his first of the night. So Shoals strikes first blood. At 2-0.
Can't give second chances like that. We actually had where Abels just throws it out of bounds.
2 turnovers here early for Caden Abels.
But back to my point, you can't give them second chances. I mean, we had the rebound. We fought for it ourselves, ends up going out of bounds. They get a second chance and get a 3-point play. Then we turn it over. So got to wake up a little bit.
Tishner able to complete the old-fashioned 3-point play, by the way, to make it 3-0 in favor of West Washington, or excuse me, of Shoals. As West Washington goes back to work defensively off their second turnover of the night. Sukup thought about it from the right wing. He'll dribble into trouble, holding there with the quick hands. Forces him to kick it across court to Sarles. Now in the corner to Hawkins. Hawkins back to the mid post, and it's Max Fisher with his first basket of the night. And that gives Shoals now a 5-0 advantage. Senators facing a similar start to what they did yesterday against Valley. Valley raced out to a 12-0 lead. Abels can't handle the cross-court pass from Bousman as it goes through his fingers. That's turnover number 3 already. And a quick timeout for Coach Smith. He doesn't like the tempo right now or what he's seeing from his guys at the offensive end. So at the 5:18 mark of this first quarter, we'll have a 30-second timeout, and we'll take 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Senators in the 2017 Springs Valley Holiday Tourney.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Coach Smith trying to put the stop to the bleeding here early. It's 5-0. Shoals gets a couple of their bigs into the scoring act early. Long way to go in this one, though, as the Senators fighting for a third-place finish here behind the 2 Orange County teams, which will be set to get it on at approximately 7:30 following this one. In the nightcap, it'll be the Rams and the Blackhawks for the 2017 championship. Of course, the Senators had won it the last 2 years, so tried to battle for, at worst, a third-place finish.
Little 1-2-2.
Senators with the matchup zone underneath. They go right back to Tishner. Jake walls up. Nice job. Forces the miss, but he gets his own rebound. Splits a double team. Jake walls up again, and this time Tishner able to battle through the wall and score another one. So give him 5 early as the Rams enter the building. Into the Hawks' Nest they come. 4:40 and counting first quarter. 7-0. Shoals out in front. On the kick out, Abels goes high post to Gavin Smith to Jake Strange, who finishes off the short corner cut right to the basket. And a much needed basket.
Much needed.
Stops the bleeding at 7-0. Nice little scoring spurt for the Jug Rocks to start things out. The Senators now on the board, as Coach Gibson said, and they've gone back to more of a 1-2-2 matchup with Harrison's link out front. Gavin and Jake down on the blocks. Pull up jumper, beautiful rainbow shot from the left baseline will go for Fisher. He's got 4 here early. Make it now 9-2. Jug Rocks out in front. Just over the halfway point in this first quarter of play. Bousman has it out front to Gavin. Now they go baseline again, same side to Jake. He gives it up to Harrison, who misses, and then he'll be called for an over the back. That'll be team foul number 2 early, and that'll be Harrison's first.
It was a really nice pass along the baseline by, I think it was Jake to Harrison. Harrison, instead of taking one power dribble and laying it up off the board, he tried a little, just a little finesse without using the board, and it just didn't work out.
Senators back to it defensively, and they'll match up on this trip. So we've seen a matchup 2-3, a 1-2-2, applying pressure out on the perimeter, and now man defense for West Washington. So a mixed bag of treats here defensively as Gavin Smith gets the near poke away, and on the bobble, Max Fisher able to rein it back in, and he takes some contact from Gavin Smith. So that'll be Gavin's first, team foul number 3. Shoals yet to commit a personal. Jake Strange checks out into the ball game for his first minutes of the evening. 6-foot freshman Parker Green. Parker comes in averaging just a shade over 5.5 points, nearly 4 rebounds per contest. I believe we'll also see Mikey Nichols on the next dead ball. 3-ball missed by Max Fisher. Sukup with the rebound, shortest guy probably on the floor besides Abels. Able to come out of there with it as we roll up on 3 minutes to play in the first. 9-2 early. Shoals out in front underneath. A wide open miss by Tishner, and we got to take those where we can get him and limit it just to 1 attempt when he misses at point blank range like that. As Abels dribbles out of trouble, gives it off to Parker. Pull up jumper won't go from the right baseline. Nice offensive rebound, back up and in by Harrison Sanford. He's got his first 2, and it's 9-4, 2:47 and counting. First quarter.
Couple stops here.
Deep 3 from the right wing. Sukup may be ill-advised, and we're going to get an over-the-back foul on the big man, Clayton Tishner. That'll be the team's first for Shoals.
Sanford did a nice job of checking him off the boards. And Tishner tried to go use his height and length to go over, but Harrison had him dug out, and it was a great job.
Abels will check out. 5'10" junior guard Mikey Nichols will check into the contest. It's just over 6 points per game. Leads the team with assist as well underneath. Nice reverse look on the layup attempt by Harrison, but he left it just short. Got rejected by the side of the rim. As we roll up on 2 minutes to go here, and we'll have a whistle and a travel. Quick first step for Sarles, but he forgot to put the rock on the deck, and that'll be turnover number 1 for Bryson Abel's club here tonight. 3 turnovers already for West Washington, as we'll go back to a little 2-2-1 3/4 court pressure. And Holden bobbled the pass on the return. There. And Sarles has it stripped away. He was looking for a whistle and a foul, and so was Bryson Abel.
Holden did a nice job. Yeah, he a little bit too quick for himself on the offensive end and left the ball on the deck, but he did a nice job hustling back and deflecting it out of bounds.
Just wasn't able to rein in that return pass on the wing from Nichols as the Senators get another stop on a one-and-done possession. And a nice job of breaking pressure with the pass. Senators able to get it in the corner to Green, who feeds it down low to Smith. Kick out to Nichols. Now to Harrison. His runner can't get it to go. Nice take on the baseline left side by the sophomore big, Harrison Sanford. And with the foul, that'll earn him a trip to the charity stripe. Or on the year, Harrison 6 of 10 for 60%. We'll see number 34 check in on the roster for the Shoals Jug Rocks. And I do not see a 34 on the roster for Shoals.
Cheryl,
okay.
33 on the roster.
So they've changed his number. He's wearing 34. His roster number is 33. So Reese Cheryl, a 6'4" freshman, checks in. And off the miss.
Sanford missed both. Parker Green got the offensive rebound, fed it to Gavin.
So Gavin gets the basket off the offensive board work. Harrison coming up short with his 2 free throw attempts. Now 9-6, minute and a half to play, first quarter of action.
Back to an even ball game, basically. So now we need to get the energy and passion up a little bit. A little bit flat coming out.
Pretty good lineup. I like this group that's in right now with Green, Bowsman, Sanford, Smith, and Nichols.
Holden got a little piece of it again.
A little poke away on the deflection. We'll give him credit for the steal as well. Pull up jumper just inside the 3-point line, won't go. And Sarles comes down and skies up for the defensive board. Off the miss, turnaround jumper, a little soft touch for the big, won't go. As it was Cheryl with the good-looking jump shot. Just couldn't find the range. Kicked ball as Nichols had his pass to Green, kicked away, and Cam Zink, a 6-foot senior guard, will check in. So now we roll with 4 guards, and I say a big, but Harrison's only 6'2", so really small ball lineup here. 9-6, Senators with the basketball. 45 seconds to play, first quarter from the Hawks Nest. Trailing at 9-6.
Coach may be thinking if we can start putting some balls in the bucket, may start bringing that press into action a little, again, like we did today against New Washington.
Foul out front on Ryan Hawkins as he picks up the personal. Team foul number 3. 37.3. Cam will be set to trigger it into the backcourt to Holden, who gives it up to Nichols into the front court. Holden will get it back and survey the damage he tried to feed on the baseline. Ball poked away from Harrison Sanford. And Coach Smith imploring Holden to go to Parker first, maybe on the baseline before they try to make that entry pass. 28.8 on the clock. They'll throw it back into Holden. He'll split 2 defenders to leave it off for Nichols. Offer a screen out front. Senators reset. 20 seconds to play. Skip cross court. Holden to Zink. Got it to go. Big three-pointer for Cam Zink off the bench, and we're tied for the first time since it was all zeros at 9 apiece. Back to the other end. Layup missed. Offensive rebound for Sherrill, and the putback won't go. Harrison dives on the floor. There's a scrum on the floor and stepping out of bounds. Gerald Scott getting some grief from Senator Nation down in front of us and to our immediate left as Parker was on the floor with 2 white jerseys. And it was Shoals who was laying out of bounds with possession of the basketball. So as time expires, Nichols throws it three-quarter court, draws nothing but air, goes into the 4th row of bleachers, and that's the way we end the first quarter. Pretty solid effort despite a sluggish start once again. It's 9-9 after 1 period of play. We'll step aside, take a break, and come back with the second quarter of action right after this from the Hawks Nest.
Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the quarter pounders coming in tonight alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sidelines, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Back to begin the second quarter of play from Springs Valley High School. Senators and Jug Rocks. Nothing settled through 1 quarter. Tied at 9 apiece. Holden, deep 3, left side. Bingo, baby. Nothing but the bottom of the barrel for Holden as he's on the board with his first points of the night. A triple for him gives West Washington their first lead at 12-9. Still for Holden, turnover number 3 for the Jug Rocks. He feeds it quickly to Nichols in the front court to Zink. 3-ball corner pocket, way off the mark, no good. Fighting for the rebound was Gavin Smith, but it'll be last touch by Sarles across the way for Shoals, as we'll see Dason Wright, 6 foot and a sophomore, check in at 4 points per game for Coach Bryson Abel, and that will cause Max Fisher to get a breather. 7:23 and counting second quarter. Zink dribbles out of the double team, leaves it off for Holden out top. He'll try to go short corner to Smith. Pass was intercepted. Turnover number 5 here in this first half for West Washington. Again, they only give it up 7 times earlier today.
Yeah, it was just an ill-advised pass. He thought he saw an open man on the baseline, and 40 is just too lengthy to get it through there.
Nice rebound as the Senators continue to play fairly small ball with Zink out there with Nichols, Green, and Bousman. Gavin Smith, the only real big to speak of out there on the floor. And then after the Senator turnover, they don't get back in transition. And it is Reese Sherrill who's able to capitalize on the long outlet pass and layup conversion to make it 12-11. Senators lead it by 1. Dangerous passes. Nichols throws it right into the hands of a Shoals defender. Back-to-back turnovers. Sukup for three. Left corner. It won't go. Rebound chased down by Hawkins. He'll take it himself. Goes off glass. Won't get it to go, but we'll have a Senator foul. So turnovers becoming a problem because it's leading to great opportunities for the Jug Rocks in transition. And this foul against West Washington will be their fourth, and it will be the first of the evening on Mikey Nichols after he turned it over on the last possession. Harrison Sanford and Gavin Smith will have a seat. Jake Strange inserted back into the lineup with Caden Abels.
Need to get our poise back, I think is what Coach said. That's 3 straight steals for Shoals, and just bad passes, basically.
Senators defending the inbounds well as they refuse to give it up in the post. Sukup had it. Nice rebound, though, off the miss by Sukup as Jake Strange pulls it down off the rim, and Holden will push now in transition. Down the right side, splits 2 guys, leaves it off for Strange. Back out to Zink. Good patience there by the young fellas not to try to force the issue as Zink sails one over the head of Holden. And that'll be turnover number 8 already in the half, and frustration building now for Coach Smith and his staff. Not too happy with Zink's errant pass on that one as we roll under 6 minutes to play before the half.
We just get in too big a hurry. They drop back into a little zone, and we just, calm yourself and see what's going on.
Nice dribble drive take by Reese Sherrill on the right side of the floor. He's got 4 now, and it gives Shoals the lead back at 13-12 underneath Jake. Nice pump fake, and he got Sherrill in transition to get up in the air and draws the foul. This will be team foul number 4 against the Jug Rocks. And for Sherrill, that will be his first of the evening.
Be interesting to see what Jake does on the line here.
He did finish the old-fashioned three-point play earlier.
Yeah, he finished it earlier today.
Yeah.
See if that confidence carries over to this game.
Jake, 6'4" and a freshman, 3 points, just over 2 rebounds per game, but 5 of 14 from the line for 35%. And this one rims in and out, no good. So Jake will stay on 2 points here in this first half for his offensive production. 1 more point, though, will land us back into a tie spot at 13. Let's see if he can get it done. Free throw is up and too long off the back iron. So the Senators 0-4 from the charity stripe as Coach Smith continues to look on. Sarles will bring it across the timeline now and leave it off on the wing to Sukup. He'll give it up on the wing to Dason Wright, who goes in the corner to J.D. Troutman into the ball game, 5'11" and a junior, and for his first minutes of the night for the Jug Rocks. Dribble drive attack. They leave it off for Sarles now to Reese Sherrill. His 3 won't go, and we got another over the back as this time Cam Zink makes up for the errant pass earlier with a good block out. And this will result in foul number 5 against the Jug Rocks on the over the back. 5:09 to play first half. 13-12, Shoals in front. Jake Strange will check out. Harrison Sanford back in. We'll also see Dalton Roush check in, 6 foot and a sophomore on the next dead ball. Didn't quite make it to the scorer's bench.
That's weird there.
Holden, nice hesitation dribble. Couldn't get the one-hand runner to go off glass. It rims out. And the Senators dry again on offense. 4:52 and counting before the half. 13-12 again. Shoals seizing their second lead of the night. We've had 1 tie at 9 apiece. Trying to feed into the paint on the pass to the basket. It'll be deflected off the hands of Sarles.
Nice job by Holden again. That's one thing you like when a player.
It's what we missed from him in those couple of games.
Right. He misses a shot on the offensive end, but he doesn't let it bother him. He comes back, gets a deflection off of the Shoals player. Now we have possession again.
And that deflection leads to their 4th turnover of the night. Again, Senators have turned it over already 8 times in this one as Abels faces some trap pressure out front, gives it up to Green. Now to Sanford, who tries to feed to Holden, cutting down the lane, but too much traffic in there. That's turnover number 9. And Sukup will be picked up in the backcourt by Abels as he applies pressure nearing the halfway point of this second quarter of action. Dribble drive offense again for the Jug Rocks as they're able to kick it out on the wing to Troutman. Troutman loses Green for a moment on the little crossover. The kick back out to Sukup out of the post. Sherrill thought about a take to the basket, thought better of it. Now we'll have a high screen and roll out front. Roush offered to screen. Sherrill couldn't do anything with it, and they'll reverse it around on the perimeter once more. 3:47 And counting as time ticks away. Tough shot on the runner. Won't go for J.D. Troutman. But an offensive rebound by Reese Sherrill, and he gets his third field goal of the night. Make it now 15-12, and we'll have another timeout on the floor. This time it'll be a full timeout called by Coach Smith and company to try to settle the troops. Again, with 3:35 to play, Senators trailing at 15-12. You're listening to Senator Basketball in the Springs Valley Holiday Tourney on your leader for Southern Indiana sports coverage, WSLM 97.9 and 1220 on the AM dial.
This is Kelly, and this is my Walmart. This is Kate, and this is my Walmart.
This is Kevin, and this is my Walmart.
This is Alicia, and this is my Walmart. This is Jessica, and this is my Walmart.
We're all part of Walmart, and we're all part of the local community. Walmart has contributed hundreds and thousands of dollars to the Salem and Washington County community in the past year. We've raised money for Salem's flood victims, local fundraisers, and donated to local law enforcement, the Community Foundation, and many other civic and private groups in the county. We're here to serve you with our unbeatable service and quality products and everyday low prices. I'm Jeff Rampy, and this is Salem's Walmart.
Out of the timeout by Coach Smith, very animated. Coach Smith sporting the red polo shirt today instead of the gray pullover, and his face was as red as that polo in the timeout. Very animated with his club as they've mustered just 3 points in nearly 5 minutes of play in this second quarter. Nice take on the little swing through and crab dribble to gather it and take it up strong. Harrison Sanford finishes on the baseline, so a much-needed basket. Now 5 in the quarter for the team. Makes it a 15-14 game, another low-scoring affair thus far. The Senators find themselves engaged in, and will have a foul in the front court. And for the Senators, this will be team foul number 5. This one on Caden Abels, and that's his first one of the night. 3:08 to play before the intermission. Nowhere to go with it. They finally get it inbounded to the corner, and then an errant pass for Sherrill leads to turnover number 5 of the night for the Jug Rocks. Green brings it down, swings it across now to Abels on the left side. He goes baseline and another gather, another little power dribble, crab dribble. Sometimes the coaches will call it a crab dribble. I know Coach Cal likes that as well, and apparently they used up the crab dribble pretty well. You knew it was coming, Coach. 90-61, they take care of the Boo Birds today in Rupp. Miss underneath again for the Jug Rocks as Abels brings it across the court. And they leave it off in the corner now for Cam Zink. He's trapped, gives it off to Parker Green. Nowhere to go with it. Missed Sanford underneath, wide open. He catches now, swings through 2 guys wide open. And Harrison Sanford now has 6 on the night. He gives West Washington the lead, back their second one of the night at 16-15. No comment on the Kentucky Wildcats.
I was trying to figure, there was 2 or 3 different offensive rebounds there in that situation. I was trying to
have a quick travel here right in front of Coach Smith.
But apparently, yeah, the Cats must have played really well. I was facing the other direction, so I didn't hear, didn't see.
I'm going to be willing.
Pat Riley must have had a good game today.
I'm going to be willing to bet that Coach Cal, despite the 90-61 win, probably was still bitter in his presser after the game, which he usually is, as Zink misses a 3 from the left corner, and on the long outlet, Shoals will throw it away to the other end of the floor, and that'll be back-to-back turnovers for the Jug Rocks, now 7.5 for them. And Coach Smith continues to instruct, but he's been very animated at times in this first half of action. 16-15, Senators out in front by 1, minute 44 and counting before the half. High post feed to Bousman, back out to Green. Green's pass bobbled away. Sanford able to save the possession. Spacing not very good right now for the Senator
calm
team.
Down here. Sometimes when it gets hectic, we like to play hectic.
You know, it's almost like, you know, I think it's Staples that has the easy button that you get hit.
Right.
I think we have that panic button sometimes on the sideline as Holden hits a little one-handed floater, or nearly does, as it rims out. Thought it was down to the bottom of the net and spit back out. Senators operating on defense now with that 1-point advantage as we near a minute to play in this first half. over in no man's land. Dalton Roush had to kick it out of the corner to Sarles. Sarles will dribble drive, get it into Hawkins, and Hawkins can't finish, but he'll go to the line for his first point attempts of the night. He'll get 2 free throws as Gavin Smith will check in. And this one's going to go against Abels on the help side. His second, team foul number 6. 1 minute even to play here before the half. And the first free throw attempt is up and no good. A very long attempt off the back iron for Ryan Hawkins. Cam Zink will check out. Gavin Smith back in. Also see substitutions here for Shoals as well on this dead ball opportunity. Second free throw attempt upcoming for Hawkins. That one long as well. Parker with a nice strong defensive rebound. Senators, dangerous pass in the backcourt, working with that 1-point lead at 16-15. Abel's trapped out front. He throws it right into the hands of Sukup. Will go to the other end uncontested. Off turnover number 10 for West Washington. Sukup's got his first 2 of the night, make it 17-16. Shoals with their 3rd lead of the night.
Turn it over again.
And the turnover starting to mount for both clubs as we have back-to-back turnovers. Senators gave it up, and Shoals travels with it after taking possession. So now 11 turnovers in the half for the Senators and 8 for the Jug Rocks. 37.4 on the clock. Double stack for the Senators on the left side of the floor. They'll get it in on the lob to Harrison Sanford, and he can't finish off the glass. A little too hard off the window. Rebound controlled by Dalton Roush to the other end. Sarles, he'll take the 3, and he hit a couple of big ones to start the game yesterday against the Martinsville school. And Sarles with the 3 ball gives Shoals a 20-16 advantage.
Nice little job there by finding Gavin diving to the bucket, but yeah, there's a minute to go. You know, we've given up a couple possessions right there at the midcourt line with a steal for a layup and then a tray. You know, we're struggling at times finishing out halves as well this year.
6
Rolls
fouls
in and out.
apiece for each ball club, 12.8 on the clock. Senators trailing it by 4 after the big 3-pointer by Kenyon Sarles.
0 for 5 from the line. Is that about right?
Not now, as Gavin Smith able to hit 1 of 2, but yes, you were correct before that. 0 for 5 now, 1 for 6 as it's 20-17, under 10 seconds to play. Near turnover and underneath. Nice feed to Max Fisher as he gets the wide open layup. Give him 6. And then another long heave for West Washington as time expires. Draws nothing but backboard. 22-17 your score as the Senators roll into the halftime break. They trail it by 5 and going to have to kind of slow the horses down a little bit and pull the reins here in the second half because the Senators, whenever they got panicked, they played out of control, and that led to good scoring opportunities in transition off of turnovers for the Jug Rocks. We'll step aside, start crunching the numbers from this first 16 minutes of play. We'll come back to begin our Eddie Gilstrap Motors Senator halftime report right after this word from a couple of our sponsors.
Police, yeah, I just hit a deer. Well, the deer actually hit me, right? But I need a wrecker for my truck. See, the whole front end is really smashed in. Now, the deer didn't make it, but it sure looks like a 12-pointer. Hey, I'd like to be towed to Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center. Yeah, you know, the one at 1008 West Mulberry Street in Salem. Well, just the other day, Bill, my buddy, he had his Ford Mustang redone there, and it looks like it did back in 1965. Even better. Well, they accept most major insurances, and they work with you to get a rental and get you back on the road with genuine parts for your vehicle. Not like some body shops that make their repairs out of the local junkyard. Yeah, right. You know, let Paul know it's me and that the truck will be coming in. He's a great guy, and he knows the repair business like the back of his hand. The deer, nah, he's not going to process that. Just the truck. Yeah, Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center, or call Paul at 812-883-3481.
Channel Seedsmanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel Seedsman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Since 1937, Eddie Gilstrap Motors has been proud to call Washington County home. As you cheer for your team tonight, we'd like to thank you for your business and continued support. Best wishes to the Lions, Senators, and Musketeers this season.
To begin our Eddie Gilstrap Motor Senator halftime report from the Hawks Nest here in French Lick, where the Senators trail at 22-17 in this consolation game of the 2017 Springs Valley Holiday Tourney to Shoals. And for Shoals in that first half, they get pretty good balance across the board. They're able to play, in fact, 9 different guys in that first 16 minutes of play. 5 of those 9 get into the scoring act, 2 for Johnny Sukup, 3 for Kenyon Sarles. All those coming in the second quarter for both players. Clayton Tishner, a very quiet half for him. 5 points in that first quarter, and then he had to set for a while and set for quite a long time, actually. 5 points for him at the half. Reese Sherrill off the bench chips in 6 to lead the way, along with Max Fisher, who started and chipped in 6 as well. Ryan Hawkins started but did not tally, as well as J.D. Troutman, Dason Wright, and Dalton Roush, who all come off the bench for Coach Bryson Abel. Shoals goes 1 of 3 from the free throw line for 33% in that first half of play, and they give it up 8 times in the turnover department. Meanwhile, for West Washington, with just 17 points at the half, again, they get several guys into the rotation, but just not a lot of scoring. Holden Bowsman with 3 points at the half. Caden Abel scoreless. Gavin Smith with 3. Harrison Sanford leading the way with 6 points. Jake Strange chipped in 2, and off the bench, Cam Zink, Parker Green, Mikey Nichols all played. Cam Zink chips in a 3-pointer in that first quarter. Green and Nichols scoreless here at the half. Senators go just a measly 1 of 6 from the free throw line in that first half of play for 17%, about as frigid as the temperature outside. Meanwhile, they give up 11 turnovers in that first half alone, after again just giving it away 7 times in the blowout win over New Wash earlier this afternoon. It was 9-9 after the first quarter of play. Nothing settled, but in that second quarter, it is Shoals able to race out to a 13-8 advantage in the period to give them the 22-17 advantage at the half. We'll step aside, get in another word from a sponsor, and we'll come back with more team statistics from Coach Mark Gibson right after this word from a sponsor. You're listening to the Senators tonight on WSLM AM and FM.
Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about MediView, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
Welcome back to the Springs Valley Holiday Tournament consolation game, where the Shoals Jug Rocks lead West Washington 22-17. Another frigid night, not only outside but shooting for the Senators inside the arc. They were 5 of 13 for 39%. Compare that to 9 for 18 for Shoals for 50%, and that's pretty much where your 5-point deficit lies. That's another, just right now that the Senators are just struggling to score. Neither team shot real well from behind the arc. 2 for 7 for the Senators, 1 for 7 for the Jug Rocks, 1 for 6 from the free throw line. Like you said, we just struggle to put the ball in the hoop. But everything else is pretty even. Both teams have 12 rebounds, 5 assists, for both teams. Everything else seems to be even. There was that 1 2-minute stretch where the Senators got sped up, panicked, turned the ball over in 4 straight possessions, which led to 6 second quarter steals for Shoals. So I think that's pretty much it. I mean, you're talking about Shoals shot 40% overall to West Washington's 35%. And the turnover battle, I mean, reaching with 11 turnovers to just how many Shoals have 7 or 8. So I mean, that's where the 5 points lie. And for a 2.5 minute period there, and the final 1 minute, it was a 1 point game with a minute to go, and we just didn't play with very much poise. So hopefully he's got that fixed at half, and we come out and have a nice second half like we did yesterday. You know, maybe catch fire a little bit. Hold and come back and knock down a couple shots here in the second half.
I would even take a third quarter like we had earlier this afternoon against New Wash as the Senators come out and blister the Mustangs and beat them 20-2 in that third quarter alone, which really opened up the game and gave them that 41-15 advantage rolling into the final quarter earlier here today at the Hawks Nest. About 2 minutes before the start of the second half of action, and Senators just now emerging from the tunnel area and from the locker room. So we'll step aside and we'll take a break as this wraps up our Senator halftime report brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors just south of the square in Salem. We'll come back and get ready for third quarter action right after this.
Just in time for the holidays at John Jones GM City in Salem, get GM employee pricing on our most popular Chevy models. You pay what we pay, not 1 cent more. Use your employee discount and save over $11,000 on select Chevy Silverados. Put a bow on that. Drive a brand new Chevy Spark, automatic, backup camera, touchscreen sound system, built-in Wi-Fi, lots more. Just $12,137 while they last. You can also browse through a variety of really nice local trade-ins, many priced around $5,000. GM employee pricing for you right now at John Jones GM City. Stop by 1450 Highway 60, Salem, Indiana. Call 800-I-SELL-GM or visit us online anytime at johnjonesautogroup.com.
Back to begin the third quarter of play. It'll be Shoals basketball coming out of the halftime. And we'll see what Coach Smith drew up on the whiteboard in the locker room, down 5 at 22-17.
Got to have a good start here. I mean, Coach talked about it earlier today. We can't constantly be playing catch-up. So we have to maintain, I mean, maybe, 5's not bad. 5's just a couple possessions, but you can't let them go on a little run to start the half to where you were playing catch-up.
Senators start with the same defense they used at the beginning of the game, a little matchup 2-3 zone, and it forces the first turnover of the half as the Jug Rocks now run their total to 9 in the turnover department. Nice high post kick out to Zink, who went baseline to Strange, and he'll be fouled as he's doubled up in the post. So we see the return of Clayton Tishner to the lineup to start. Both teams going back with their original 5, except for West Washington, who goes with Zink instead of Abels. As we have a foul on Hawkins, his third, and that's the first of the half for either ball club. Half minute into this third quarter. Harrison Sanford will kick it out of trouble to Holden Bousman, who goes high post to Gavin Smith. Nice pump fake and nice strong take, and he'll be fouled on his way to the rack. And this will be team foul number 2 against the Jug Rocks, and this will go against 23, which is the big man, Clayton Tishner.
Got to start
check
making
that. Check that. They're going to get Max Fisher instead. My bad.
1 for 6, and I think from the free throw line in the first half, that's not going to get it done, but nice.
That's a good way to start remedying the situation, though, as Gavin answers. It's the first. It's at 22-18, giving a rim out on the second one as he comes up short. Stay at a 4-point decision, 40 seconds into the half. Sarles with it, top of the key. Good 3-point shooter again. He lit it up yesterday in the first game against Martinsville Tabernacle, as he'll be forced to kick it back out top on the ball. Reversal to Fisher. Fisher back to Sarles. Left side picked up and hounded by Holden in the 2-3 zone. Just over a minute gone by now in the third. Shoals with the turnover on their first possession of the half. Tell you what, I feel like we're doing a really good job of boxing in Tishner underneath as Hawkins gets free on the little mishandle. Make it 24-18, but we're really limiting how many times Tishner really gets an open look to feed him in the post.
Yeah, we were really giving him all kinds of trouble there. It just ended up moving over to Hawkins, and he gets a nice little layup.
Underneath, Jake Strange can't finish, but we'll have
I think
a
it's going to be. I think it's going to be the big guy.
If so,
it is.
They will get Tishner on this one instead of Fisher. And for Tishner, that'll be his 30. Had those two quick ones and had to set again for a long time there in the second quarter as Holden gets it off the inbounds. Got it to go. Big three for Holden. He's got 2 triples now on the night, make it a 24-21 game. 1 possession, and let's see if the Senators can buckle down defensively for another stop. Nearly 2 minutes passed here in the third.
11's setting up over here. We can't lose him.
And he catches, but they're able to fire it around quickly. Sukup with the 3-ball attempt. And we're going to have 2 white jerseys on the floor.
Yeah.
The shooter, and
Jake went for the block,
Hawkins.
and ended up, he's going to get a player control foul on, which you don't see very often on defense.
This is true.
He actually ran over the screener.
So Jake mows down Ryan Hawkins, so not on the shot attempt, even though Sukup fell, but Shoals will have it across the ways. They throw it into Sarles in the backcourt, met by that 2-3 zone. Actually, they're going more of a box and one now, Coach, as they've got Jake and Gavin on the blocks, and they've got Harrison fronting Tishner everywhere he goes with those 3 personals. So
Harrison's done a really good job of working hard all game long when Tishner's been in there. He's done a really good job of just working hard and being a thorn in his side.
So they disguise it a little bit. They open up with the 2-3, and then they go box and one, and Tishner's been held to just 5 points through almost 2.5 quarters of play. Smith tries to feed down low to Jake Strange. The lane wasn't there. You hear Clayton Sullivan and Matt Myers, 2 assistants for Coach Smith, both yelling, Smitty, go up with it, because he was right there at point-blank range. Senators will have it, though, underneath their own basket. They'll flip it out to Bousman. Now high post, it'll go to Smitty as he gives it the old up and under. Can't finish off the glass. Maybe didn't realize how open he was going to be off that pump fake. 2.5 gone by into third. Sarles with it, top of the key. And right now, Harrison coming out as Tishner's come out to the perimeter and basically getting face guarded by Harrison. But Kenyon Sarles comes up with his second triple of the night. Maybe that's the guy we start going with the box and one look with as the Senators turn it over. First one of the half for them, 12 now in the game, but Sarles again, a deadly shooter. He's going to go again, right wing, and this one's going to be left short. Harrison Sanford there to fight for the rebound. And on the save attempt by Shoals, it'll go into the hands of a blue jersey. Cam Zink will bring it across. And we'll have a timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout for Coach Smith and company with 4:45 to play here in the third quarter. It's a 30-second timeout, 27-21. Senators trailing it by 6. But we've seen a lot more aggression just in these 2 games today. Again, just willing to take it from the high post or wing to the rack, whether it's a baseline drive or whether it's high-low post or whether it's just catching a high post, turn, face, and go. You got to like the effort that you've seen out of our bigs and Gavin Smith, who really didn't play a lot in that holiday tourney at Salem, kind of able to turn the dial a little bit on his aggression offensively here today.
Yeah, they're getting him the ball right at the free throw lane and then diving on both sides to where maybe he can either give a bounce pass, which he's done a couple of different times for a guy diving to the basket, or fake the bounce pass and then take it hard to the rack. And he's been fouled a couple times. And, you know, on the last one, he had a wide open layup. He just didn't put much touch on it. I mean, he's being aggressive, just got to put the ball in the hole.
Another zone trap. Look, a little 1-3-1 action this time for the Jug Rocks. As Holden brings it into the front court, they get the offense rolling, and Smitty this time finds Jake, and it's a clean look, and they're going to attack the big Clayton Tishner, and I believe this foul will go on him. In fact, it does, and that's 4 now.
We react like that.
6'5" big man, and that's the 4th whistled against the Jug Rocks.
That's a big deal, but Cheryl came in and really lit us up in the second quarter. So we can't relax down there. I don't know if that was the case or not, but he came in and did the dirty work that Tishner usually does.
Hey, Jake Strange rattled one home from the free throw line. So 0 for 2 up to this juncture. Able to get that one to fall. He's got 3 on the night. Make it now 27-22. Tishner checks out with those 4 personals after Coach Bryson Abel rolled the dice. And how about that? Jake goes 2 for 2, so
it looked better leaving
on the night.
Hand as well.
27-23. Sherrill back into the ball game. And it was actually Reese Sherrill who gave a big lift and led the team at the half with 6 points, along with Max Fisher. Hawkins, though, able to answer right back for the Jug Rocks, give him 4 on the night. 29-23, back to a 6-point game halfway through the third quarter of play. Nice feed, wide open underneath. Harrison drops the dime to Jake Strange, and the big man puts it in the piggy bank. As Jake now starting to come to life a little bit. He's got 6 on the evening, 29-25. Sukup with it, kicks it in the corner. Sherrill gets it right back. We'll skip it across now to Fisher. Fisher goes off the crossover into the paint. Wild shot out of control, but he'll draw a Senator foul. This will be team foul number 2 of the half. Jeff Jackson with the call. And this one's going to go on Strange. And that'll be his 3rd personal. He's the only one in any imminent foul trouble right now, as that'll send Fisher to the line.
It's a bad, that's a tough time for Jake to pick up his 3rd because he was just starting to get into a little rhythm. But, you see that happen a lot. I mean, he just got into a little rhythm, but he's really the only one in foul trouble.
Fisher missed the first, hit the second one, so make it 30-25, a 5-point game right now for the Senators. Had 4 lead changes and 1 tie in that first half, but it's been all shoals since just before the half. As Zink gets into trouble on the baseline, forced to kick it out to Holden. He'll go into the paint, leave it off for Gavin Smith, who feeds across to Parker Green, who goes up strong over Reese Sherrill. And Parker's got his first 2 of the night, make it now 30-27. Senators back to a 1-possession game. High screen out front, no whistle as Zink's knocked to the floor.
Legal screen there. That's a point of emphasis in the college game.
Underneath, it was Fisher who had the mismatch against Zink. Tried to muscle his way in, out of control, airballed it. Scholes comes up with the offensive rebound, and the Senators will be tagged for a foul. Bad things happen when you give up offensive boards, Coach.
Second chance point. We're checking second chances, lead to second chance points, and boy, they are killers. And it's Sherrill again. Yeah, it seems like we got Tishner out of the ball game, but Sherrill has just been a load for us to handle inside as well.
Sherrill knocks down the first free throw, give him 7 on the night. Zink checks out, Mikey Nichols back in. His first minutes of the second half. Free throw on the way, no good on the second attempt by Sherrill. Rebound for Gavin Smith and the Senators, 31-27. To the other end, Nichols feeds out front to Bousman. Now on the wing to Sanford, to Bousman. Back over it goes left side to Nichols. He tries to feed cross court. That pass not there. Turnover number 13 for West Washington. Senators' woes continue on the skip pass, and Sarles will be whistled for a travel. And it'll be Bryson Abel who gets all over Jeff Jackson's case here. Turnover number 10 for the Jug Rocks. But sometimes at the younger level, especially at junior high level, Coach, that skip pass is there. That window is really there. But at the varsity level, that window closes so fast that it's difficult to read for some players for whatever reason. Is we had to turn over, but Holden comes back and answers with a nice little runner. Floater. He's got 8 now on the night. Senators come back, though, give up a foul on the defensive end.
Yeah, and we've seen it all year long. We've seen some of these younger guys, and even in JV ball, that pass makes it through. Varsity level, it just does not make it through. Now, I think that is when he compounded the problem. The first problem was he was wide open, but he wasn't ready to shoot when he got the ball to begin with.
First free throw attempt, no good for Max Fisher. He'll get 1 more, and just like on the last trip, came up short. This time, though, he can't salvage one of two as he misses them both. Extended zone pressure here. Nichols, 3-ball left wing, got it to go.
That was exactly what I was talking about.
First basket of the night, a big one for Mikey Nichols. It gives the Senators the lead back. Their third lead of the night at 32-31. Minute 50 and counting.
That's 3 assists for Harrison in this quarter.
On the kick out, Hawkins goes to Sukup in the left corner. Back out to Hawkins, now to Sarles. He thought about 3. Maybe shuffled the feet a bit as he works against Holden. They give it up now to Fisher on the wing. Fisher will dribble out of trouble. Approaching 90 seconds to play. All 3 Senator coaches up, directing traffic. Cam Zink will check in. Next dead ball. We'll also see Dason Wright, 6 foot and a sophomore, back into the ball game as well for the Jug Rocks in the next dead ball. Hawkins misses the shot. Got away with an over the back. Gavin Smith secures the rebound. Senators will push in transition. Nichols with it. Leaves it off. Dangerous pass now for Holden, who had it poked away from behind, and it will stay with West Washington. Zink in as well as Wright. And for the Senators, it will be Gavin Smith that comes out to get a breather. So back to small ball for West Washington. Hawkins comes out for the Jug Rocks.
Minute 8 left to go in the third. With a minute to go, right around this area in the second quarter, we gave up 2 gave up 2 quick baskets. So let's see if we finish better.
Zone trap again for the Jug Rocks under a minute to play. Nichols with it, nowhere to go. Gives it up to Harrison Sanford. They'll skip it across to Zink. Bingo, baby! Right side of the floor from downtown. Cam Zink with his second triple, making now 35-31, largest lead of the night for West Washington. And underneath, a Senator foul. Senators' biggest lead up to this point was 3 at 12-9. They lead it now 35-31, but they give up the foul on the other end on the nice take on the baseline. Parker Green picks up his first personal foul of the night. That's team foul number 5. Whistled against West Washington, 4 against the Jug Rocks. Substitution again as J.D. Troutman checks in, a 5'11 junior who gives Sarles a break. Reese Sherrill at the free throw line, able to knock down the first. Makes it 35-32. Check that, 35-33 as he knocks them both down. We'll have a timeout on the floor. It'll be a 30-second timeout called by the Jug Rocks. Their first timeout taken of the night. Going to have a strong quarter finish here, Coach. With not a lot of time left, you certainly want to go in with the momentum and the arrow in your favor as of now. So Senators, it'd be nice if they could score, get the last shot, and then do the old Bill Belichick and get the double possession.
Right. That's one thing that we've complained about it. Sometimes this team gets a little antsy on at end of quarter situations. You know, obviously if the wide open layup is there, you take it. But, you know, with 39 seconds to go and a 2-point lead, like you said, it sure would be a boost going into that huddle, going before the fourth quarter with a 4 or 5 point lead.
So it'll be a little 1-1-3, a little matchup, 3-quarter court pressure. Nichols has it, gives it off to Sanford, kicks out to Parker Green, and they got away with the travel, but we'll have a quick whistle on a foul here. Jeff Jackson with the call again, and this one's going to go against Reese Sherrill, his second, team foul number 5. And it's a 35-33 ball game with Parker Green at the line. On the year, Parker averages 5.5 a game and nearly 4 rebounds. He's 8 of 10 on the year for 80%. That one rattles out. I'm going to have to quick give it a free throw percentages, Coach.
Yeah, he started off the year. Looks like he was going to be really confident from the line, but here in the last couple of games, he's struggled.
Second one is up, and that one rattles in and out, no good. Harrison Sanford with the offensive board. Back to Holden for a deep 2, won't go. Offensive rebound by Parker. And the freshman duo doing the damage here with under a half minute to play. Parker missed the free throws. Harrison with the rebound. Holden couldn't get the long 2 to go, but Parker working the weak side boards. Earns himself another chance at the free throw line and a shot at redemption.
Yeah, see if he's more comfortable this time.
Got up on the toes. That one looked a lot better. So for Parker, his 3rd point of the night. Substitutions here as it is J.D. Troutman Henry Sherrill, who check out of the ball game. Dalton Roush back in for the Jug Rocks. And Parker knocks them both down, give him 4 now on the night.
Let you set up a little bit of pressure.
37-33, 4-point advantage for West Washington. And now we're going to have a sideline violation. They're going to say he stepped out. Bryson Abel still arguing with Jeff Jackson. He's been on his case all evening. Thought his guy got bumped and fouled on the sideline. That's turnover number 3 of the half. 11 now in the game for the Rocks.
15 to go.
Bausman with it now in the front court. Feeds high post to Parker Green on the kick out to Mikey Nichols. They'll sling it cross court to Zink. Zink nowhere to go. Off to Holden. 3 seconds to play. Zink gets it. Pull up jumper. Blocked, but there'll be a foul.
There is a whistle.
And I'm not sure how much longer Bryson Abel will be able to keep the lid on here before he loses his lid. Not happy with this call. This one's going to go against Hawkins. And if that's the case, that'll be his 4th. And that is number 7 whistled against the Jug Rocks as time expired. So Cam Zink to the free throw line. 67% shooter on the year, 2 of 3 entering tonight. This is the first. He's got 6 points as of now. Make it 7. And apparently they're going to call that on a 2-point attempt. I think everybody's looking around thinking it was a 3-point attempt. So
well, I thought he did. He pump faked and then had a dribble because I almost thought they were, because he bobbled the ball and might almost look like a double dribble, but he must say he got inside there, inside the line.
So with that said, we'll step aside and we'll take a break and we'll come back with 4th quarter action right after this. You're listening to Senator Basketball on WSLM. Welcome back as we continue on with
Us at Ace Hardware of Salem would like to thank you, our loyal customers and neighbors, for continuing to give us the opportunity to help you with your home projects and for letting us be a part of your neighborhood since 1996. We are proud to serve the community our family calls home. May you and yours have a very Merry Christmas and have a safe and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas from Ace Hardware of Salem.
back to begin the 4th quarter of play. Senators will have it as they get the free throws or the attempts from Zink. He was able to knock down 1 of 2, give him 7 in the ball game, and the Senators trying to get back-to-back scores here as we open up the 4th. Little dribble 3-man weave out front. See this quite a bit at the end of the quarter. Senators now just try to weave and dribble the air out of it, and no need for that whatsoever. Mikey Nichols takes it off of the break, coming off the weave handoff, gets too deep, nowhere to go, stops and drags the pivot foot. Just need to keep the floor spaced. When you do that, not only are you making yourself prone to that kind of turnover, but you're also ruining your spacing on the floor. 40 seconds into this 4th quarter, and the Senators have given it up now a total of 14 times, and that leads to a 3-pointer.
Fisher with the 3. Yeah.
Fisher now on the night with 10 points. And the Jug Rocks draw within 2 at 38-36.
So in effect, that was a 5-point swing. I mean, we turned the ball over, they hit the 3, and now, you know, you had some breathing room, now you don't.
And I'm going to guess we're going to see a substitution. 5 count was on. Bryson Abel thought it was a 5 count. Rick Roberts bailing our guards out with a quick whistle and a foul. This will be team foul number 8. And Roush will pick up his first one of the night. So 8 fouls means we'll shoot some bonus basketball. Nichols checks out. Abel's back in.
We got to knock these down this quarter. You got to knock down free throws. Doing the stats, this is our worst percentage shooting-wise from the free throw line of all 4 quarters. I mean, it just steadily gets worse as you go. First, second, third, fourth. We've kind of struggled in the 4th quarter. Luckily, he knocks that one down.
Substitution here as Sanford will get a quick breather. Gavin Smith checks back in for West Washington. Zink knocked down the first. Make it now 39-36. Second free throw on the way is good. So Zink on the night with 9 points, well above his 2.7 point per game average. 4-point lead, the largest it's been at any juncture tonight for West Washington, and it's been that way on a few occasions. But on a nice little pick and roll on the feed, Fisher able to get another bucket. So he's got 12 now in the game to help pace the Shoals attack, and it's 40-38. Underneath, Parker Green able to finish at point-blank range. He's got 6 on the night. He answers right back to put it back at 4. Miss underneath. That miss by Dalton Roush. Coming out there with it. The Senators now back at it on the offensive end. Holden gathers it in, drives baseline, nowhere to go, had it batted out of bounds. And it will stay with West Washington as he tried to tiptoe the line and nowhere to go with it.
It's experience, but when things get sped up and get hectic, we play hectic. We need to be able to learn to reset, take it back out, reset things, and take a breath.
Not sure I wouldn't go with that little 3-man guard exchange, that little dribble weave out front just to kill some clock. Just got to realize we don't have to get too deep into that dribble penetration. As Zink takes it, leaves it off on the wing, right side, Holden buries a 3, bullseye for Bousman as he now has 11.
They throw it away.
45-38.
See, making shots, you're able to get into your pressure sets, and we've seen today that some teams can't handle that, or they're going to turn the ball over. So I mean, that's what making shots sure makes life easier.
Timeout on the floor for Coach Bryson Abel off the 3, and then the turnover. That insult to injury. Senators enjoying their largest lead at 45-38. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll come back with more 4th quarter action right after this.
This is Kevin, and this is my Walmart.
This is Alicia, and this is my Walmart. This is Jessica, and this is my Walmart.
We're all part of Walmart, and we're all part of the local community. Walmart has contributed hundreds and thousands of dollars to the Salem and Washington County community in the past year. We've raised money for Salem's flood victims, local fundraisers, and donated to local law enforcement, the Community Foundation, and many other civic and private groups in the county. We're here to serve you with our unbeatable service and quality products and everyday low prices. I'm Jeff Rampy, and this is Salem's Walmart.
Nice feed underneath off the post entry as Holden tried to thread the needle to Parker. Parker bobbled it on the entry, and that'll go as turnover number 4 of the half. 15 now in the game overall for West Washington. More than 2 times the amount they gave up earlier today. As underneath, Shoals comes up with an empty possession. Shoals fans wanted a foul and whistle. Holden with the pump fake, skips it cross court to Abels. Now short corner on the left side to Smith. To Abels, he dribbles out of trouble, and it'll be another Jug Rocks foul. As Rick Roberts gives the stink eye to Kenyon Sarles. Wasn't very happy with his reaction to that whistle and foul. That'll be team foul number 9. And for Sarles, just his first of the night, so not a lot to complain about there. If you're just picking up your first with 4:53 to go, we'll see Tishner check back into the ball game. Roush will check out. Harrison Sanford will check back in, and Zink will come out.
Guys, obviously with 5 minutes to go, you just don't take the air out of the ball. But sometimes I think we're playing a little bit too quick.
Abels can't come up with the front end of the bonus opportunity from the free throw line, so he remains scoreless on the night. Still 45-38, largest lead for West Washington. Again, playing shorthanded without the services of Nick Mars. It's been a while since we've been able to play with a full roster, coach, as Sukup misses the deep three. Sarles with the offensive rebound. He'll take it himself in the corner. Misses the three. And Parker Green there with a strong defensive rebound. And Coach Smith is pleading for somebody to start pumping the air brakes. Coming up on the halfway point of the period. Nice feed down low from Smith to Green. And he'll draw contact and a foul underneath off the double team. Parker will go back to the free throw line. 4:18 to go. Senators operating with their largest lead of the night at 7, 45-38. Foul will go on Fisher, and that'll be his third of the night. Team foul number 10. Senators with just 5 in this half, as Parker has that one touch every part of the rim before it rolls out. Parker's struggles continue. Now just 2 of 5 on the evening. Normally an 80% free throw shooter. Second one is up. A lot better arc and rotation. So make him 3 out of 6 from the free throw line. He's got 7 in the game. 46-38 your score.
And you have to dig with up by 8 with 4 minutes to go. You have to dig down a little bit. No easy buckets.
Senators go with a little triangle and 2 look here. They got Holden playing out top. They got Smith playing down low on one block with Parker, and then you've got Tishner into the ball game, which Harrison Sanford's drawn that assignment most of the night, even when they went boxing 1. And they've got Abels that was face guarding Sukup earlier. And now on the reset underneath, Tishner will muscle his way through a triple team. Get his first basket since the first quarter, just 7 on the night for him, while under his season average of 15 per game, 46-40. And underneath, Parker loses the handle. Turnover number 5 of the half for West Washington. Sukup to the other end, feeds it in the corner. And as that three rattles home for Sarles, he's got 3 triples on the night. That accounts for all 9 of his points in the scoring column. 46-43 and a timeout on the floor for Coach Smith and the boys in blue, as the Shoals faithful to our right comes to life. It'll be a full timeout for Coach Smith. That'll leave him with 1 full timeout the rest of the way, with 3.5 to play in regulation. And the Senators clinging to a 3-point lead. We'll come back with more right after this.
Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about MetaView, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
Back out of the timeout. 3.5 minutes to go in regulation. Senators fighting for a 3rd place finish in this consolation game of the 2017 Springs Valley Holiday Tourney. And it looks like it's going to be a little 1-3-1 pressure here with Hawkins and his length out top at 6'2" with a big wingspan, as Zink splits the double team, leaves it off on the wing now for Harrison Sanford. Ball reversed around to Bousman on the right side. Holden dribbles out of trouble with the trap. He'll give it off to Zink as they've gone back to that zone pressure. Gavin Smith trying to split a double team, leaves it off, dangerous pass. Bobbled, nearly poked away as they get it to Strange. And Harrison Sanford trying to go behind the back. Not sure what that was. I guess I'll mark it as a turnover and counted at that. 45-43. 6 turnovers in the half, and a big three-pointer. Fisher with the triple. And he has been the steady hand here tonight offensively for the Rocks. He ties us up for the 2nd time tonight at 46 apiece. The other tie coming at 9 apiece at the end of the first quarter. Gavin Smith, high post pump fake, nice feed underneath to Harrison Sanford. And he'll be whistled for the double dribble. Coach Smith couldn't believe it. He was able to find Sanford for a moment. Sanford wide open, bobbled it, tried to gather it back, whistled for the double dribble. Back-to-back turnovers, now 7 in the half, 18 in the game.
Talk about learning. You have to learn to play with the lead, too. Because, I mean, this 8-point lead with just under 5 minutes to go, and it's just been erased by just silly plays by the Senators.
Senators back to work as Jake Strange now will body up Tishner underneath, trying to keep him from getting open in the post. Ball poked away for a moment as Holden was out there offering a double on Fisher. Sarles with it, back to Fisher. Top of the key will be doubled by Zink and Bausman. They force the turnover. That's turnover number 5 of the half. Now 13 in the game for the Rocks, and the Senators back at it with a tie ball game and a chance to grab the lead once more. Minute 46 and counting. And Bausman maybe fouled out front. No whistle. Green will take a strong drive left side. No foul call. Jake Strange offensive rebound. He can't get the finish, and then Zink maybe got away with one there. Bryson Abel thought it should have been a foul, but it's instead a jump ball. And Coach Smith not happy with Gerald Scott. And they're telling him to get back in, and Scott goes to grab his whistle. See if he's got the nerve to give Coach Smith one, but tell you what, Coach Smith liked the fight. I'm not so sure that Scott didn't miss 2 different whistles underneath. As Coach Smith very fired up in this timeout. You can hear him all the way up here through the headsets. 46-46. Shoals burns the timeout on the jump ball. It is Shoals basketball. Just can't seem to get the right breaks at the right time, Coach.
Yeah, and I mean, the 2 minutes before that, yeah, it looked like Jake definitely got fouled. But go back to the 2-minute stretch before there where we throw the ball away. We're playing too fast. I mean, you had an 8-point lead, and we're pushing it. We're pushing it. I know some teams are like that because it's in their basically their basketball makeup, but it's not in ours. We're averaging 45 points. There's no reason to be playing fast. We have an 8-point lead. That should be like, you know, a 15-point lead for some other people, but we don't make smart decisions.
And maybe Coach Smith was anticipating a little bit, but Senators have been the benefit of a lot of quick whistles tonight. Maybe he thought that Jake or Parker, either one, would get one on that possession. 2 opportunities added as Jake denying in the post. 3 ball for Sarles. That one rattles in and out, no good. Last touch. Woo! May got away with another one. Bryson Abel now. Tell you what, he's been all over this staff as well tonight of Roberts, Jackson, and Scott as Jake was battling.
I don't mind that call because
touched
he's the one that came over the back. We actually had position there. It did look like it kind of went off us, but he's the one it could have been a call to foul.
Senators back at it, top of the key, hold controls, goes in the corner to Green. Green now back to Bausman. Bausman underneath to Harrison Sanford. He turns, rises in, it's at point blank range. Able to soak the smooth turnaround jumper. Harrison's first points since the first half. He's got 8 in the ball game. 48-46. Senators got a D up here in the half court. Fisher with it in the corner.
Fisher's been in the lane forever.
Kicks it out to Hawkins, now to Sukup underneath. And we're going to have a catch and a travel. And Bryson Abel doesn't like that call. And again, he's going to rip on Jeff Jackson. And Bryson Abel about to lose his mind. Now he's going to chew on Rick Roberts' ear for a little bit. As that's turnover number 6 of the half. 14 in the game for the Rocks. And then out front, we're going to have a reach behind. And Rick Roberts is going to tell Bryson Abel, I told you once, I'm not telling you again. He just told him to sit down. And Jeff Jackson will give us the call now. Whistle against the Jug Rocks is number 11 of the half. And this will go on Max Fisher. And that'll be his 4th. Bryson Abel just about as close as you could get to getting rung up. As Zink goes to the free throw line, and that one will not go. Senators have just been atrocious at times from the free throw line in this tournament.
And like I said earlier, the fourth quarter has been our worst. We're shooting to 70% in the first half, 60% in the fourth quarter.
Zink gets that one to go, so expands the breathing room just a little bit to 3 at 49-46. So at worst, you know, you get a tie if we give up a score on this next possession. And Shoals will burn the 30-second timeout here.
Yeah, you need one stop here. I mean, one stop, and then you ice the ball. You make them foul you. You don't go flying into the lane looking for an easy layup. You make them foul you and go to the line. But the stop comes first.
See what the Senators dial up here. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Senators in the 2017 Springs Valley Holiday Tourney.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Out of the timeout by the Jug Rocks, and Coach Bryson Abley still shaking his head after erasing that playmaker board. 34 seconds to go. See what he's drawn up. He's going to rip into Sarles now for not racing it up the floor. A little 3-2 zone action here, trying to guard the perimeter. They'll slip Sarles to the corner as well as Sukup, and they'll throw it over Sukup's head for a turnover. And that will be now 15 in the game for the Jug Rocks, as they'll have to apply pressure with 23 seconds to go.
Sometimes this is a little scary for this young Senator team. If they really start to apply a lot of pressure, you got to make smart decisions.
And he'll be bumped and knocked to the floor by Hawkins. And for Hawkins, he knows it. That's 5 on him. 12th foul of the half against the Jug Rocks. And we'll walk to the other end where Zink has been sketchy at best. 1 of 2 at the end of the third quarter on that shot attempt. He was fouled on with no time remaining. Then he hit 2 in a row. Went 1 of 2 on his last trip, as all 3 coaches for West Washington up directing traffic. 21.2 on the clock. Zink back to the free throw line. We're on the year again. He's just a 67% shooter. Nick, get on his toes.
This reminds me of Borden.
Yes.
We had the shots to ice it at the line. We didn't. They come down and they hit a 3. That's reverse psychology.
Okay, I got you. Zink, second one. That one long as well, so Zink can't capitalize. And then Holden nearly comes up with the steal at half court, but it'll be whistled for the bump and foul on Sukup instead.
Just the 6th. Just the 6th. So actually, that's a pretty smart play. He's a heady play. I don't know. I'll have to ask him later. Did he know that was just the 6th foul? Dad will probably say yeah.
Be a timeout on the floor taken by Bryson Abel. That's his final timeout. It's a full timeout.
18.7 to go.
18.7 on the clock. Let's step aside and get a word in from a sponsor, and we'll come back with the exciting finish right after this.
Make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. The experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
I don't know about footloose, but I hope we played pretty free and loose here on this last possession defensively, or what we assume will be one of the final possessions defensively for the Senator Ball Club. 18.7 on the clock.
No fouls on the shot here.
No fouls because we've got 6. Next one will put them at the very least in the bonus. Senators have matched up here man-to-man on this possession. Deep 3 for Tishner. It's off the back iron, no good. Ball bobbled around, and last touch by Parker Green, who couldn't secure the board. Now we're going to have to watch for a lob entry likely to Tishner here at 6'5". He'll be face guarded by 6'2" Harrison Sanford. 7.3 on the clock. They'll get it to Sukup. His deep 3 from the left wing, off the mark, no good. Rebound fought for. Last touch by Tishner as he goes over the back of Harrison Sanford.
Now Sukup's been really good.
Still not out of the woods yet.
On threes, but I have him at 0 for 5, so we kind of dodged some bullets there.
3.4 on the clock. Parker will get it into Zink, and they'll give up the foul. Not much time goes off. 2.3.
Just
we'll walk
one
to the other end, and
all we need is 1.
this will be team foul number 13. Double bonus for Zink. If he knocks at least one of these down, like Coach Gibson said, we're in good shape, but two would make me feel a whole lot better. And we're going to have to settle hopefully for one as Zink still can't find the Rangers. No bend at the knees, no getting up on the toes. It's the little things that matter in your mechanics, especially at the line. See if Zink can capitalize here. All we need is the one. There it is.
Got it. No fouls. Just
Zink
let it
may
go.
have just slammed the door on the ice box here as they'll heave it three-quarter court, and that's the way the ball game will end as the Senators escape with the 50-46 victory over the Shoals Jugrocks. Shoals will drop to 4-6. Senators, meanwhile, not only snap a 5-game skid today, but they pick up 2 straight within the course of about 5-6 hours of play here today and a short time of rest in between, as they will now run their record to 4-6 with a busy weekend coming out of the holiday break next Friday and Saturday with a trip to Leopold in conference play, their second one. They'll take on the Commodores and then come back for a boys-girls doubleheader, a rare sight anymore in the Berg, as both the girls and boys will take on Edinburgh. So a busy, busy schedule as we roll into the 2018 calendar year. But the Senators certainly headed into the new year on the right track and a little bit of momentum after picking up 2 key victories here today. Senators will finish with a 3rd place consolation game win. And again, that will give them some momentum headed to Leopold next Friday night. We'll step aside, take a break, start crunching numbers, and we'll come back to begin our Ace Hardware of Salem post-game show right after this from the Hawks Nest. You're listening to the Senators tonight on WSLM 1220 AM and 97.9 on the FM dial.
Hello, police. I just hit a deer. Well, the deer actually hit me, right? But I need a wrecker for my truck. See, the whole front end is really smashed in. Now, the deer didn't make it, but it sure looks like a 12-pointer. Hey, I'd like to be towed to Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center. Yeah, you know, the one at 1008 West Mulberry Street in Salem. Well, just the other day, Bill, my buddy, he had his Ford Mustang redone there, and it looks like it did back in 1965. Even better. Well, they accept most major insurances, and they work with you to get a rental and get you back on the road with genuine parts for your vehicle. Not like some body shops that make their repairs out of the local junkyard. Yeah, right. You know, let Paul know it's me and that the truck will be coming in. He's a great guy, and he knows the repair business like the back of his hand. The deer, nah, he's not going to process that. Just the truck. Yeah, Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center, or call Paul at 812-883-3481.
Channel seedsmanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel seedsman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Since 1937, Eddie Gilstrap Motors has been proud to call Washington County home. As you cheer for your team tonight, we'd like to thank you for your business and continued support. Best wishes to the Lions, Senators, and Musketeers this season.
Senators win it in thrilling fashion in this consolation game of the 2017 Springs Valley Holiday Tourney as they defeat the Jugrocks 50-46 and get a much-needed set of back-to-back wins here today to snap a 5-game skid and perhaps get, again, that momentum they need back, a little bit of mojo on both ends of the floor as we return to conference play next Friday night down at Leopold. Both teams have taken the floor for the championship game here in this holiday tourney. It's an all Orange County final. The Rams and Blackhawks set to get it on. just a little over 18 minutes from now. But, Coach, again, a solid effort, solid win. Now if we can just get these guys healthy and go to Leopold with a full roster, that would be wonderful, because holiday tourney at Salem, we were without Holden. Before that, we missed a couple of games with Cam from the concussion at Eastern. This weekend now, we've missed 3 games with Nick out with the flu, so hopefully a little time for healing as the schools, school year starts back, coming back from the holiday break next week, and we can kind of get rolling a little bit with a full roster.
Yeah, and you can tell, I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday, I think it was this morning, Coach Smith was talking in your interview. You could tell he was just like kind of frustrated that he really hasn't had all of his weapons yet. It has been a while since we've been full strength, and you can tell he's kind of getting a little bit frustrated. But, I mean, it's due to circumstances beyond anybody's control. I mean, you had Zink had a concussion. Holden had a little neck, maybe slight concussion tweak little thing going on, and then Nick with the flu, and we're knocking on wood hoping he's the only one that gets the flu, because, man, it has really been hitting people hard this winter. So, I mean, if we can get by with Nick being the only one. So, yeah, hopefully they get 3 days off here. I think that's what Coach said. So he was, hopefully everybody gets healthy and we go into next week and we don't get snowed out and we have all of our weapons.
With that said, we're going to let Coach Smith hop in here to the captain's chair and get his thoughts on this thrilling win here tonight. A big day for Senator basketball, a couple of much-needed wins, and I know for Coach Smith, again, a little sigh of relief, not just to get the 2 wins and get some momentum and get that mojo back, but also, as we said, Coach, it'd be nice now to not only have a little bit of a win streak going into Leopold next Friday night, but hopefully a chance over the weekend in the course of the week returning back to school after the turn of the calendar to get everybody healthy. It sure would be nice to play with a full roster for once.
Yeah. I mean, that's 7 games here, I guess, where we haven't had, somebody. So it'd be nice, if we can get over this stomach bug, which, I worry about. Hopefully taking, these next 3 days we can, if anybody's getting it, they get it then, and we can quarantine it and move past it. But I'm really concerned about it. Anytime it seems like it gets one guy, it seems to spread. But we'll see what happens, and maybe next weekend, like you said, we can actually play with a full roster. That'd be nice.
Let's talk about some good stuff here today, Coach. Not only do you get the blowout win, 53-20 over New Wash today, but then on a short turnaround, which maybe you was a little bit concerned about how they would respond on such a short amount of rest. They come back tonight and win a thriller 50-46. Just get your immediate thoughts on this one.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't know what to expect. I mean, our first double weekend, we came out and we played hard against Paoli, and I thought we did some good things. And the next night we kind of struggled a little bit against Trinity, maybe a little flat. And the following double weekend, I thought we did a little better. We just couldn't pull off the win against Borden there in that second game. So didn't really know how to expect playing 2 in 1 day and 3 in 2 days. But, kids showed a little more toughness and found a way. And, we talked about how we, 23 tensioner, we were going to do whatever we could to make someone else beat us, and we talked about boxing him out hard, and we were able to get some calls where he went over our back and get him in foul trouble, and that was huge for us. But in the second quarter, we had an opportunity there with him out to really make some hay, and we didn't. Shoals really responded with their big guy out, and they actually went in with a 5-point lead. And it was a little concerning, but our guys answered right out of the break. They answered, and again we were able to get the big guy in foul trouble again, and we were able to make some plays, and that's what we've been looking for. We've been looking for some guys to step up, make some plays, and we were able to get that a little bit tonight. So definitely need to do a better job shooting free throws. We make our free throws and we make some bunnies at the back end of that trap that they were doing. We had some really good looks. Maybe we have some breathing room, and it may not be a nail biter, but we'll take it any way we can get it right now. So we're happy to get another W.
Well, your biggest concern coming into today's 2 contests was how the boys would respond after talking with some of them individually and as a group after yesterday's loss to Springs Valley, and they come back with a balanced effort. You get 2 guys in double figures, and then tonight it's your guards that do a nice job, in particular Holden Bousman and Cam Zink leading away with 11 apiece. Thought Cam was pretty good for you off the bench, taking care of the ball. Maybe the only concern, the free throws, but that's really on everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Our as a team, we shot poorly from the free throw line, and that's something that needs to be better. We're better shooters than that. But we haven't been to the free throw line a lot this year in games. So game situations, that's a good sign for us. We got to the line, but at the same time, that's a situation where, we got to get better at that. We got to make our free throws. But yeah, it was great to see Cam step up and answer. We kind of challenged Cam a little bit today, and he stepped up. I thought he played well this morning, and he stepped up tonight and played pretty well. For the most part, throughout the game, and took care of the ball and was attacking a little more aggressively and hit some big shots. And, we were able to get some things going, with Harrison and Smitty in the middle and Parker, get some stuff around there. And I thought we showed some growth in this game, and hopefully maybe it'll help us moving forward, and we get Nick back, and hopefully we can build on it.
One guy that you did mention that I was really proud of course, proud of all of them, but Gavin Smith, I thought, really stepped up. And while it might not have been a ton of flashy scoring, he was a really aggressive presence in the high post catching, being able to not only have good vision and feed some out of the high post, but use that pump fake and get to the rack and draw some fouls. And he's a guy that whenever you're able to get that kind of production out of him, it adds another threat that the defense has to strain and worry about a little bit more.
Absolutely. Gavin, we've said all along, offensively, he has some gifts, and he has a knack for being able to score a little bit. He has some good moves, and he's got a big, strong body. He can be kind of a bulldozer at times and draw fouls. And, this was a great game for him to showcase that a little bit. And I was glad to see that, and really proud of him because, we've had to kind of challenge some different guys, and we challenged him a few weeks ago, and he's really responded well too. So, that's what it comes down to. I think we got some guys that are figuring some things out, and they're stepping up and understanding that, at the varsity level, every possession matters. You can't play scared, and you can't play timid, and you have to go compete. And if you're going to make mistakes, let them be mistakes of trying to make a play and trying to be aggressive as opposed to playing passive and timid and making those type of mistakes. So tonight I thought we showed some growth in those areas.
Absolutely, and as always is the case, super proud of this group and the effort put forth. Even more proud of the fact that we've responded after that little 5-game skid. And I know we've been shorthanded some, but to bounce back with 2 big wins today says a lot about this team. And like you just said, their growth and their maturity, and hopefully we are able to continue that because it's a really brutal part of the schedule coming back. Some tough matchups coming out of the break.
Yeah, it doesn't. We've been through a grinder, and we've played 2 games at home, and we played some really good teams, so far, and it doesn't get any easier. We got one more road trip, and that's down to Perry, and that's always a tough road trip. And then we have Edinburgh coming in, and they're in our sectional, and right now, they're playing well. They just won their tournament, and they've got a junior senior, kind of rotation, and it's going to take a lot of when you're playing against older kids like that, it takes a lot of toughness. It takes a lot of grit to battle because those guys have been there before, and a lot of our guys are still just, getting their first tour duty,
Right.
And but we're seeing some growth from some guys, and that's great to see, and it's exciting because that's what we want. We want to, by the end of the year, we want to be the best team we can possibly be, and we want to be playing our best basketball come tournament time, and we've talked about that a lot. That's not something you just flip the switch on and decide you want to do the week before the tournament. It's something we got to be building and working towards. And, we showed some growth this weekend, I think, or at least today. So hopefully we can, enjoy the next few days and then get back to work and keep building on this moving forward.
Coach, savor these 2 wins today. Try to get your assistants all healthy and rested and ready as well. I know they're battling some flu bug symptoms, it seems like, as well.
Yeah,
but
keep Coach Myers in your prayers, and hopefully we can make it back to Campbellsburg. He's not feeling very good. But
well, you guys have a great, enjoy your New Year's weekend with your family, and we'll talk to you prior to the tip down at Leopold next Friday.
Same to you. Happy New Year's.
Coach Smith joins us here on our Ace Hardware of Salem Senator postgame show. Senators victorious here this evening, 50-46 is your final, running their record again to overall at 4-6, and more importantly, with those 2 wins, snapping that 5-game skid. Let's run down the scoring for both clubs. First for Shoals, who drops now to 4-6 on the year. They get pretty good balance down the line. Max Fisher leads the way with 15 points on the night. Ryan Hawkins chips in 4. Clayton Tishner, the team's leading scorer at 15 points per game, chips in 7. Kenyon Sarles with 9, all from the 3-point line, and Johnny Sukup with 2. From there, Reese Sherrill come off the bench, gave a good lift. He chips in 9. J.D. Troutman, Dason Wright, and Dalton Roush all play, but do not tally for Bryson Abel and the Jug Rocks. They go 5 of 11 from the free throw line for just 45% after just 1 of 3 in that first half from the charity stripe, and overall 8 turnovers in the first half, 8 in the first half, 7 in the second half for a total of 15 in the ball game. Meanwhile, for the victorious West Washington Senators, great balance tonight. 2 guys in double figures. Zink and Bousman chip in 11 apiece. Caden Abel starts but goes scoreless. Gavin Smith chips in 4. Harrison Sanford with 8. Jake Strange with 6. Parker Green and Mikey Nichols also play. Parker chips in 7 on a pretty good night for him, and Nichols with 3. Didn't see a whole lot of playing time, especially in that second half of action. Senators get to the line 26 times in the game. The problem was they only knocked down a dozen of them. So 12 of 26 leads them to a 46% percentage overall from the free throw line. They commit 18 turnovers on the night, 11 in the first half and 7 in the second half of play. Score after the first quarter was 9-9, all tied up. Rocks own the second quarter 13-8, giving them a 22-17 lead at the half. Senators, though, how about this, Coach? Another monster third quarter. It was a 20-2 run in the third quarter earlier today against the Mustangs in their first game. Tonight, a 21-11 third quarter in favor of West Washington. It gives them the 38-33 advantage going into the fourth. And in the fourth, they get outscored by 1, 13-12, but secure the 50-46 win. And you got some additional team stats for us as well.
Yes, rebounding. Senators, again, out-rebound their opponent, 20-18. We had 6 offensive boards, so, another nice job. The Senators have done a really nice job on the boards this year. 13 assists for the Senators to 9 for Shoals. Bad thing is we gave up Shoals for 13 steals, so a lot of just errant passes that went into the hands of the Jug Rock. So got to clean that up, and definitely, like you said, got to clean the free throws up. 12 for 26. When you're in close games, which I would assume this team's going to be in a lot of close games throughout the second half of the season, and 12 for 26 from the line isn't going to get it done. But on the bright side, this is probably the best we've shot. 10 of 21 inside the arc for the game for 48%. 6 of 12 from three-point land, 50%. That's definitely probably as well as we've shot all year. So for a total of 48.5, and I'm pretty sure. So at least maybe that's starting to come around. Maybe it's shot selection, or they're just starting to fall for us. So we've been shooting a lot better since the second half of yesterday's game, actually. So hopefully that trend continues. Shoals shot 40.9% total, 46% from inside the arc, 31% from behind the arc, 5 of 16. So Senators shoot really well, except from the free throw line, and that's definitely an area where we're going to have to shore things up in the turnovers. So, again, if you keep doing work on the boards, you don't allow too many second chance points, you're going to be in some ball games, and that's where free throw shooting and turnovers are going to be big. So we got to get better at that.
Step aside, take our final break here on the Ace Hardware of Salem. Senator post-game wrap-up from the Hawks Nest, where the Senators win up by 4 here tonight. We'll come back, name our player or players of the game, get some final thoughts as the Senators now with the victory, again, move to 4-6 on the year, and we prepare to watch what should be an interesting showdown. Orange County's version, if you will, of Salem, West Washington, with 2 bitter rivals going at it, Paoli and Springs Valley on tap. In about 3.5 minutes, we'll come back with our final segment right after this.
Hardware of Salem would like to thank you, our loyal customers and neighbors, for continuing to give us the opportunity to help you with your home projects and for letting us be a part of your neighborhood since 1996. We are proud to serve the community our family calls home. May you and yours have a very Merry Christmas and have a safe and happy New Year.
Merry Christmas from Ace Hardware of Salem.
Back inside the Hawks' Nest for the final time as we close out the 2017 portion of the Senator basketball schedule with two big wins here today over New Washington and Shoals. Time to name our Ace Hardware players of the game. Earlier today, it went to the entire team for snapping that 5-game skid and having a balanced attack. Tonight, it'll go to the two guards that led the way. Holden Bausman, the freshman floor general, 11 points on the night, 4 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 4 from behind the arc, dished out 3 dimes, grabbed a rebound, and had 3 steals on the evening, as well as senior guard Cam Zink, who chipped in 11 points, was 2 of 4 from three-point line, 5 of 10 from the free throw line. I have to clean that up just a little bit, but Zink also chips in 3 assists, grabs a couple of rebounds, and has 2 steals on the night, so congratulations to our two guards, Zink and Bausman, being our Ace Hardware players of the night. Coach, a quick final thought before we wrap things up and get ready to head into 2018 and a date with the Commodores of Perry Central.
Well, I definitely want to wish everybody out there a very happy and safe new year, it's opening up with the alma mater when we come back from break, so that'd be nice to go down to Leopold.
The Leopold legend returns.
See, Mom doesn't get to too many ball games anymore, but it'd be nice to see Dad. Dad goes to all of them, so they say hi to Papa Gibson while we're down there.
Hope you have a great new year, and we'll
Happy
see you
New
next
Year to
week.
You too.
With that said, we're going to close out this broadcast, our final one of 2017 for Senator basketball, and we got a busy slate coming up in the month of January as we're going to try to pick up some girls' games as well right out of the gate. So looks like it'll be a busy time for Senator basketball on the WSLM airways. And we want to, of course, wish everyone, as Coach Gibson said, a very safe and very happy and prosperous 2018. Take time to enjoy this weekend with your family and friends and loved ones. Please be safe out on the roads as well as we turn the calendar and what hopefully will be a great year ahead for everyone in Senator Nation and abroad. And with that, we also want to give a final shout out and thank you to all the sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator basketball possible. Those sponsors one final time include John Jones GM City, our pregame show sponsor, Eddie Gilstrap Motors bringing you the Senator Halftime Report, and Ace Hardware of Salem bringing you this postgame show coverage, as well as McDonald's on South Main Street, Brady Bishop and Channel Seed, Walmart, Salem Crossing, and Meadowview Healthcare. Without their generous support, Coach Gibson and I would not be able to do the job we love each night. The Senators are in action, so please let those sponsors know when you have opportunity how much they are truly appreciated here as a partnership.